Second. So welcome, my dear friends, for the yet another interview. We have Mr. Ramanathan from Chennai, and we are very glad that at his age, I'm keeping this as a suspense element. Let him declare from his own side. And it has been a great motivation for me, in fact, listening to him. So I said, let me just share the same interview with you. Please be very, very alert, because the insights that he's going to share is not about the insurance profession only, but about the life that he has been living to reach at this particular stage. So I'm super excited to meet Mr. Ramanathan. He's from Chennai, representing Life Insurance Corporation of India and Star Health, and a lot of activities along with it. And let's hear from him. Welcome, Mr. Ramanathan, for this show.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Nice to hear you. I'm excited also to share with you all my insights so that people will get benefited from my experience. Number one, even though he said Chennai, I am from a rural background. I am from Pudukkottai, which is about near Trichy, about 32 kilometers from Trichy. It is about 280 kilometers from here. I was in that background. I was always brought up by my grandfather, who was a circle inspector of police. He was a great guy in those town, small town, but then cars used to come, buses used to come for any function which is happening nearby towns, nearby villages. That is how I felt important with my grandfather. He brought me up in a strict, absolutely, strict fashion, which grandfather will ask his grandson to be. That is where I learned age is not, is not a factor. It's just a number. He always used to say, you should never age. And he used to ask me to recite all these Sanskrit slokas, because he couldn't, for that matter, he had this cataract, and from the age of 65, he couldn't see. So he asked me to recite all these slokas in Sanskrit and hear it. So I am well versed in all that slokas right from the age of 7, 8. Even though I just picked up how to read, he used to ask me to go 10, 12 and all, I used to read all that. That's one background I have got. And then from there, for my grandfather, I was not with my father, mother. I was grandfather. It was about 15. I joined a college in Chennai, Jain College, Minambakam. There, I was in NCC Rifles. I was an under officer. NCC Rifles. Then it struck me, why not I join Air Force, Airway, and then become a pilot. So one small mistake I did is, without informing this officer, I just went and joined Airway. Almost 6 months, 7 months over, this man didn't notice it. I used to come to this practice. I used to go to the practice also. I didn't know from that age. I didn't know that it should not be 2. Then I was about to go for a gliding practice. There he stopped me. No, you cannot be in Airway. You have to be only back. That upset me endlessly. First BSc I was studying. I failed in first BSc. I was heartbroken. I thought, what is this? I'm not able to join. I'm not able to become a flying and become a pilot. I wanted to become a commercial pilot also. So I was heartbroken. Then I came back to Pudukkottai, which is my rural town. My grandfather some appeased me and all that. But then he thought, yes, I have failed in first BSc. He thought, let me go to an engineering education. My father was to put me in aeronautic engineering. He groomed me for that. He created a dream for me to become an aeronautical engineer. I couldn't do. So I went and studied in some local college. I was not with my father all these years. From the age of 15, and later also I was not with her. For about 1 or 2 years I was with him. Later I came back. Then I studied. From that I applied for IIT Mumbai.
Oh, lovely.
8 years and I was in Mumbai. That is why whenever you speak in Hindi or Marathi, I could easily pick it up. That was not difficult for me. I was in 8 years in Mumbai. Mumbai was a scenic place. I was near a lake where I can see the beautiful, birds come and fly. Even sometimes crocodiles used to come. all that I used to, from my flat, it's a bachelor's quarters, I was a bachelor quarters, I used to see that. And then I was there for about, I've even seen in the Poi, when I walk across, I used to, there's no bike and all that. I had one bike, but I used to walk across the same. I used to see even 10, 8, 12 foot cobras. Through that, they never harm. I mean,
Powai was a jungle area that
unless
time.
you do that, they never harm. So I used to walk across to IIT Mumbai every day and then come back. That is why, that is how I picked up Hindi and as well as Marathi. Little Marathi I knew.
So here, what what I can understand from this particular conversation is that during the time of growth, you faced a failure, but it don't stop you. And whenever we face a failure, we have two options always, either to bounce back or to just keep on cribbing about the failures. And that's what is the reason why successful people are successful, because they know the art of moving on, and not just moving on, but bouncing back to reach at the next level. Yes, sir. So what about it then after IAM?
So at that point of time, I have always been thinking, my grandfather used to say, you never become old. I used to see him, he never became old. Even at 70, 80, he never looked old. I used to get imbibed by this spirit of him. One. Second thing is, about 8 years in Mumbai, my father thought, I will lose my son if I allow him to be in Mumbai. So he talked to one engineer, he knew one engineer, he was an LIC professional. He was a General School member. He was a illustrious man. He was a number one in the branch and number one in Chennai, DO1. Then he thought that I will lose my son if I allow him to be in Mumbai. I have all girlfriends and all that. At the age of 28, 30, imagine that. I used to have all girlfriends, move around and all that, go away. Then he thought, let me bring it back. He got one, he was an insurance professional, so he knew one manager in Nagar. He talked to him, sir, somehow bring my son back. I was earning about 400 rupees per month. He immediately shifted me to Chennai, interviewed by an officer, and then they took all our Bengali officers there. They took me, and then I became an engineer in Everett Industries. My salary was 950 rupees at that time, just double. I was so happy. Even then, I didn't talk to my father all these days. I never talked to my father from the age 50, from the age 0 to 32. I did not move with him because I had so many, likes and dislikes and all that. I used to worship my grandfather. So I never used to talk. Then slowly, he put me into the Everett Industries. For about 25 years, I was in Everett.
So before we just go deeper into it, let me uncover the suspense area. What is your age as on today's period of time?
Let me tell you. 1956. 1956. I was 15, and I moved over to study in Jain College. 19 somewhere in 1972, 8 years. 1964, I was in Mumbai. 1964, I was in Mumbai. Then I came to Everett about 1972. June, Everett, I came. That time I was 32.
Fantastic. You are actually engaging the entire audience to make their brains work to calculate what is your age as on today's period.
That's my intention. Then I retired in 1998 from Everett Industries. Here I will give you a small background. My wife, lovely. She also was working in LIC as an administrative officer. After I retired, I used to help my father to give the checks and get the back and all that. And then she didn't like it. She said, either you should be yourself or you should help your father. Do not do both. And she was in one branch. So I used to go and ask for help and all that. She said, do not come like that. You should be an agent. And then you ask me, I'll be glad. I went and asked the SDM. Sir, what should I do? I want to become an agent. First, he said, any relatives of you is in LIC? Yes, my wife is in AO in this branch. No, that means you cannot become an agent. I told this same thing to my wife. Without thinking, yes, she just took a VRS 2-3 years before. You join LIC. I don't want to work. I will be by your side. That's all. I will be a homemaker. That's all. It's a heartbreaking decision for her. She earned about at that time about 30,000 rupees, and to leave that salary and be a housewife, it's a great decision she took. She said, "You become an agent, and you don't go and ask anybody to help as your father's binami. I do not want you." The same word here. You don't be a father's binami. You be yourself. You you be yourself and do not try to canvas for your father. Then one thing which turned me also into this, before I became agent, 2005 I became an agent, 68, 65. Before that, I went and consulted, when I was in service in Eveready, I consulted an astrologer who is known to my wife. Looking at this, I wanted to become a general manager, things like that. He looked at my horoscope and various calculations. Said, no, you cannot become anything. You have to be like this only. I was heartbroken again. So what is this? I want to become this, and all that. I'm not able to become. He said, he was known as Mr. Chari, my wife's friend. She said, he said, sir, you will be top of the this thing in your life after reaching 65. I said, what for? After 65, after retire, why should I become so much? I don't know. That you don't talk, you will know it at that time. Luckily, God, I even think about him, he is in heaven now. He is no more. Even now, I think of him in good times because that word proved to be a motivation for me. Then when I joined it, it is a manifestation of his speech. 2005, I joined. 2006, I became MDRT. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like that. Every year I became MDRT. All
Fantastic.
because of his two things. One, Mr. Chari. Number two, my wife, who supported me all through. He said, I will become a housemaker. I don't want to work. 2 years, 3 years before she resigned, September she resigned. I took it up in October. Finished. Simple. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. That is something which turned my life. I never knew I'm going to be one of the MDRTs in the next year itself. God's manifestation, or big people's blessings, my elders' blessings, all that, I became 2006 MDRT.
Lovely. Here, I would like to make it a point for all the audience that is, see, one of the greatest thing that we learn from all successful people is having a gratitude to the people, those who have contributed in their life. I want you to take a second at this moment and remember all those people who have been instrumental for your success or you being in the path of insurance. And, possibly write down in the comment box, whom are you grateful for at this moment? And even if they are there right now, just pick up a phone call, stop this particular video here itself, give them a phone call and tell them, thank you so much for being in my life and making me that kind of successful person and feel that kind of successful person. That's the great message, sir, and that's really great. Now, second most important learning, what I got it from here, that is, when somebody tells you you will become successful, that vibes are easily catched us by each and everyone. So that's where the power of word lies in. So when we speak out to anybody, and if we show that trust automatically manifests into the results. And that's what is the great message. Fantastic, Mr. Ramanathan. How did it happen next then?
Next. Now, during the time in which I was in Eveready, I was a team leader in quality circles. Team leader in quality circles. And many things I learned. One thing I learned is Kaizen, continuous learning, continuous improvement, continuous learning. So Whenever,
So Kaizen is basically a Japanese therapy
yeah,
whereby
correct,
you are continuously learning and continuously improving on regular basis. That's Kaizen. Yes.
correct. That Kaizen, correct. Continuous learning, continuous improvement. So I thought in my life, I will always be learning, learning, learning. That's why when I joined insurance industry, I thought I'm an engineer. I do not know anything about insurance industry. How should I improve? Then my wife, even before I became an agent, 2001, she sent me to one gentleman known as K. Chandrasekhar, who was a development officer. He was running an insurance academy in Chennai. He said, go and study in that. You will know everything about insurance. Do not talk. Even you are not an agent, do not talk to anybody without knowing any subject. Go and tell him. Believe me, he trained me to be an MDRT in 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's why in 2006, I became MDRT. He is no more, but I greatly remember his name, K. Chandrasekhar of Insurance Academy. He is in Chennai, and one Mr. Uh, Nagsai. He was also an adult. He returned. He is now also here. I'm attending his classes also at 7 o'clock. Two. Third, I would like to greatly remember this. I will tell you why I greatly remember it. Mr. Srinivasan of Coimbatore.
Yes, Mr. Srinivasan, sir.
He is a founder of Lugi, Life
Yeah.
Under Request Guild of India. What's so great about Life Under Request Guild of India? Selfless service. I benefited from his selfless service. What I became, he motivated me. He started a FCHP course, which is Fellow Chartered Financial Planning course. It's a 6-module course. He asked me to go through that. 2009, 2008, 9, 10, 3 years I studied with all the young boys. They were all my colleagues, young boys, but they are insurance agents, Ravi, and so many people were there. So they used to have a combined study in my house. I am the senior leader. So yes, I could pass FCHP in 80 plus marks.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
All my dreams of not studying first BSc to third BSc to LLM was fulfilled in this particular moment. I studied, night and day I studied. My wife used to joke at me. What is this? Night and day you're studying. Yes, that is what I want to do because I lost life because I have not studied properly. I should have passed BSc and then gone to aeronautical engineering, and then I should have passed it and become aeronautical engineer. I didn't do that, so I failed. So I will do this. I became FCHP at the 3 years, 6-module course for about 3 years. That turned
Fantastic.
my life. I knew now whenever I talk to somebody, I know how to talk to them. I will not talk to them about policies at all.
Lovely. Lovely.
One,
Again, a great message here that all the big insurance professionals are someone who keep themselves in the learning mode lifetime. And the other area which I could focus here, that is working in a small mastermind group. It's the community of that selected few people that keeps you engaged into that conversations that ultimately help you always, very, very sharp when the presentations are concerned. And that's where Napoleon Hill, in his book Think and Grow Rich, had clearly identified this particular parameter known as masterminds. Having a small group of people who can practically, or with the same intentions, with the same working style, which are there empowering each other for betterment. These are the two major principles and the learning from here. Yes, Mr. Ramanathan.
yes. Now I studied in FCHP. I was already once trained in everyday industries. Each year they used to send me to Calcutta and get trained in their classrooms. And also they sent me to Kanchbahal. Do you know Kanchbahal in Orissa? There
No, I am
used to
not.
be an institute. There used to be an institute for training people. I was trained for a month. Every year I used to go there, taking companies the same. I used to go for about 2 3 years. 2 3 years I was trained to be a quality circle leader to handle how you should handle workmen. You should never treat them something below. You should never treat them something above, but you should treat them on par. That taught me, that every day taught me how to approach people and talk to them. And
Absolutely.
then the FCRP made me understand, why should I talk to people? Why should I sell people? Why should I approach people at all? That told me that I will never sell a policy. I will never talk about a policy to anybody whom I meet, but I will always find out their needs first. Basic thing, I will find out their need. What is their need? What is their goal? What is their dreams? Then only I will open my mouth. For this is what it will suit your dream. One, this is what will suit your dream of your child. Two, like that I used to sell. Even then, uh, this is how I have been talking to people. Then I thought
So
I will.
again, I'll say two skills which are very, very important is a people skills. Okay. People skill where how do I talk to people? How do I approach to people? What is going to make them feel that yes, this person is giving me respect as well as respectfully showing me the further path. At the same point of time, the product skills, the concept skills. These are some of the skills that what helps insurance professionals to stand apart as compared to the other competitors. There are total 24 lakh insurance professionals, and out of which, if you want to stand apart, then what kind of skills that are there? Fantastic, sir. What next?
Next, I thought, if I sit at home, want to meet three people every day, uh, get prospects, get people, is very difficult. How do I know? But basically because of every day, all the friends and people, relatives, all I could convince them to take insurance. Then I put up stalls in exhibitions. Every year I used to put a stall. For about 10 years I've done that. 10 years I put stall. 3 days. Each day from morning to evening, I used to stand there and explain people whoever comes and take all the data about each meeting, each show. I used to have 200, 300 prospects. Then I used to make them suspect. I used to talk to them. I used to have my, with all that, I used to tell you one important thing. I used to have my executive. I have an office. This is my office. I used to have my executive who used to be with me in those stalls. Please, one second. She is Miss Kavita. Mrs. Kavita, come this side. Come this
Yeah.
side. She is
Namaste,
Miss
madam.
Kavita, and she is
Namaste.
a backbone for me in all these activities. With me, she used to stand from morning, leaving all the house, leaving all her house activities. She used to be stand there from morning to evening, and then help me out in taking the client informations. I used to have
Fantastic. So
also
see, again, there again one moral which I pick up from here, that is, if you want continuous prospect, there need to be some or the other activity to bring new names. One of the idea that Mr. Ramanathan said is with the help of the canopies or the stalls which are there in your any kind of activities happening where most people come in together. It may be a mela, it may be a kind of some or the other programs where there are a lot of people coming in together, and that's where you get new numbers. And the second most important thing is the staff. You cannot do everything by your own self. You need manpower to help you so that your work becomes easy. Yes, Mr. Ramnath.
in fact, I want to tell you, in 2019, I fell sick because of a stroke. I
Okay.
was bedridden for about 6 months. My executive did all my work for me and gathered further prospects from the already listed. She used to get prospect. 2019, I became an MDRT in the sick bed, remaining the sick bed. 2019, I became ninth MDRT.
Lovely, sir.
I
Lovely.
was bedridden with a stroke. I recovered, of course, in 6 months, but then my grit and determination was there. My secretary also, my executive also helped me to achieve that, particularly to one doctor. I had already talked to him during September, October, November. It was about to get culminated. I became sick because of the stroke. She went and did all the medicals for the doctor, and she obtained the all the medical reports, special reports, and all that. He gave me the policy about 5 lakhs, 5.3 lakhs premium. His wife also gave about 4.5 lakhs. That year, I became MDRT because of this. I'm
Fantastic.
thankful to my executive who did this to me.
Fantastic, fantastic, sir. That's the again a great achievement, because keeping everybody with that same alignment, the family on the same alignment, the company managers on the same alignment, the staff having on the same alignment, and that is again one of the greatest successful lessons that I learned from this.
Next is that how I caught big HNIs. See, as I'm looking old, like you, they thought I can go and talk to people who are HNIs. So whenever a check comes with a big HNI, they used to ask me, sir, please go and give it to this thing and ask him to invest this. Like that, I met one hotelier. This is a case study for you. I met one hotelier. He was a very big shot. He was a very big shot. Even meeting him was very difficult. He asked me to wait about 1 hour also. My manager, AVMs were all waiting outside. I went and met him. Then I presented an 8 lakh check to him. They asked me to present an 8 lakh check to him. He said, he took it, okay. Immediately, without his expectation, I took it back from his hand. He said, why? Sir, if you get 8 lakhs now, it's peanuts and you will spend it. Without any hesitation, you will just put it down. Some expenses will go. Think about it. Do you have an expense for this moment? Or else, I will tell you something which will multiply it several times. At least about 2 times, 3 times, I will multiply. Believe me, I will do that. He asked me, how can you do that? I gave one market plus to him at that time. It was a very good scheme at that time. You believe me, you trust me, I will do that. Then 3 years, it got multiplied. Market plus was the peak, it got multiplied. And I gave back to him. I told him, you want to surrender it now? It's about 2-3 times. You want to surrender it, you take it. Then at that point of time, I asked him, sir, you're a big shot. I know. What is your turnover, sir? If I know, if you can excuse me, can I know your turnover? That's about 100 crores. He was a big hotelier, spinning mills, everything he had. It's about 100 crores. Tomorrow, in the hall, he was talking to me as he walks. He was in the midst of the office hall. Then I asked him, sir, 1 second. Suppose tomorrow you are not there. Who will be taking your seat? With your brain and with your work, you have done 100 crores. Who will take your seat? My son will take. How long will it take him? For about 6 months. Till 6 months, your company will suffer. Why don't you ensure that point? Your 100 crores. Why don't you ensure that 100 crores? You are stunned. In the hall, he like, oh, no. I'm already old. And I don't want any insurance. Sir, just a moment. His father was an aged man at that time. He was running the show also. What is your father's age, sir? I asked him. He said some 78, sir. That. My age is 75. You just take my word, you will live long. Take my word, you will live long. You will not die young. You will live long. But this is only a case in which I'm putting safeguard yourself. Protect yourself. That's all. But that doesn't mean that you will go away at an young age and your family will get benefited. Because all the hall looked. Never people used to talk like him like this. Then I thought that I should tell him the truth. Then only he will get convinced. Then he said, yes. What do you suggest? I have no time right now. And you meet me one day. He didn't meet me for about 2, 3 months, 3 months. I kept on, whenever I go that side, I used to think I should meet this man. That there is one thing which is very important is, you think that you must meet an HNI. Every time you think, you should find out, you should put it in your mind, how can I meet him? What are the ways in which I meet him? And you should, that manifested me. He called me one day. He called me one day, and then I presented a Jeevan Lamp 1610, and for about 5 crores. Unfortunately, at that time, HDFC, because he had taken a loan, they have already taken about 20 crores from him. Very unfortunately. He said, Ramanathan, this much I can tell you. Just now HDFC has taken all this thing from them. Then I told them, they are all unit-linked policies, sir. More like a savings, more like a savings bank. So mine is different. Mine is entirely different. You just have a look at it. I presented him for about 5 crores, and then he said, you make it 1 crore at least. As you have struggled this much, you take 1 crore. And I presented him at about 10 lakhs premium. Then he said, how do I believe you? Okay, fine. You just open your this system and then go to LIC side. See the bonus charts of this particular plan for 5 years back, and then futures will be like this. If it can happen in 1956, LIC become an organization. Till now, bonus has not floundered. It has only gone up, maybe 1 or 2 points low, but this will be there for another 10 years. Then worked out this interpretation. Immediately he called Sridhar, he was his secretary. Give him a check. Finished, over, finished. That's all. That is why, that is how I clinch a big.
So again, two learnings from this is, number one is when you're giving a maturity check, or when there's a maturity happening, make it a point to repropose the client. This is one learning. Second is, do not hesitate to propose a new plan, even though if he's an HNI, it doesn't matter. And at the same point of time, probably have that courage, as Mr. Ramnath did. What are you going to do with this 8 lakh rupees? That's peanut for you. And that's what is actually clicking, because very few people have the courage to speak like this with an HNI. And that's what is, again, one of the signs of successful people. They don't hesitate to speak out because they are very much convinced that their product is going to make a difference in the life of the prospects. Fantastic, sir. That's really a great. And of course, follow up. What we do, that is, we do once, twice, and we think that, okay, probably he is not interested. But when you're continuously finding out the ways and means to reach out to them, in fact, the HNIs see the kind of dedication and commitment that the advisor has, and that possibly clicks the bigger value sales. Yes, Mr. Ramnath, sir.
Then I used to also meet flat owners and societies. I used to friend them. I used to have a medical camp as well as a children's drawing competition, both combined. See, both combined. Elder people with medical. Hospital will get Kaveri Hospital. They also will get business. I will keep children's competition. My executive used to come there and conduct it. I used to have some more assistants so that they will come and do the drawing competition and all that. From there, I used to gather the father, mother, every house I used to go and note down. I gathered prospects. About 30 prospects I could gather each time. I conducted about 4 or 5 societies. 30 prospects I used to get. That way also I gathered prospects.
Fantastic.
Then people whom I knew have got practice. People who worked with me when I was a contractor in Eveready. I was a contractor in Eveready from 2000 to 2013. 2000 to 2000. As I was an agent, I was also a contractor in Eveready. Basically, I'm a mechanical man. So they appointed me as the contractor for maintenance. There that I employed some 6 people to work that. One of them was Mr. Pine. There itself, he was keeping on asking, sir, why not? I was working with forklift trucks and all that. He said, why not we go to Caterpillar and ask them for services and all that? Stop. I am not interested. At 30 years, I have done engineering work. No more engineering. I am an insurance agent. I will not work for that. You, if you want, you can canvas them. He has become a multimillionaire crorepati. He is importing forklift trucks in containers, 50, 60 forklift trucks in containers and selling them here. He is importing them. He's got a big factory. So I told them, why not I meet your workman and prepared a letter like this. I prepared a letter from this. I addressed the workman there. Myself and your boss were working together. He was below me. But we had that same kind of dreams. I had a dream. He had a bigger dream. That is how your factory is about 5-acre plot. 5-acre plot. It has become a big factory now. He is a big owner. It will become a like a pupil tree. What is that in Alamaram? You take double pupil tree. It will become a pupil tree and become bigger. I wish that your gentleman becomes much bigger industries, not just this, much bigger industries. He was so stunned to hear this, and then he said, "You talk to people." And then I'm supposed to go and collect the information. That is how I approach people whom I knew and who now in life has become bigger. Yesterday they were smaller, today they are very bigger. Like that, 2, 3 people were there. One was this gentleman, another was my known friend. I used to go address companies and then sell people also. I used to get prospect through them also. If you know them, if you know they are in this position now, yesterday they were in this, tomorrow they are in this position, today they are in this position, go and approach them. There's nothing wrong in it. People, I knew that from here to here, they have grown. They also must have grown in life, their cash flows. So I went and approached. And 2, 3 companies I addressed, and I could get the good
Lovely.
prospects.
So again, two major learnings over here, organizing two types of camp at the same point of time so that you are in a position to invite more and more people. One is health, the other is drawing. The second most learning is if you are having the list of the people where you know that previously their financial conditions, whatever, and today they have grown to the next level, approach them and try to do seminars along with their own factories. So possibly you have a mass to cater to, you know, the boss, so authority is already established, and ultimately the relationships grows much better and deeper, focusing on the employees as well as the boss both put together. Fantastic, sir. That's again a great learning from you.
Now, I have become a life member in MDRT.
Hmm.
Do you know how?
Hmm.
Because every time I become an MDRT, I pay $550 and register with them every year. 10 years of registered. They immediately said, "You are a life member. Finish. Next year you pay, you become a life member." I paid 10 years, $550. 11th year also I paid. Now I have become a life member. Not only you should become an MDRT, also you should think you should join that organization and then learn from it. Also, I have attended 2 sessions. One is Indianapolis, another is Atlanta, down United States. One in Chicago, that at Indianapolis, another is Atlanta. Both the conferences I attended with my wife. I never go out without my wife. I went and attended. For about a month, I was in America, and then toured and entire place and all that. But during those 4 or 5 days of MDRT, I learned a lot. I could
So how
hear.
can you just describe how is the movement and what was that particular thing that when you entered it for the first time, how was the entire feel at that time?
This is how I should do that.
Lovely.
I could pose, I could show Indian flag in an MDRT conference like this. They honored me like this. Even though I did not take part in the flag hoisting ceremony, flag, they march past. There was a hall in which flags will be there. I used to take the flag and stand with them. And all the MDRT other people, I used to meet them and then exchange. There I learned mentoring is an important aspect of your life. If you are not mentored, you are likely to founder. Tendulkar has got a coach. He mentors. And boxing man, he has got a coach. Everyone has got a coach. Why not me? I should get mentored by somebody. Hence, I thought one Mr. MG Ramesh. I will tell you about you also. MG Ramesh was a was my mentor for the past 5 years. I am attending his classes and I have learned Nagar. Nagar is his senior boss.
Ranjan Nagar.
Ranjan Nagar is my senior boss, and I learned a lot of things from them. Learning. I mean, continuous learning. I could learn a lot of things from them. Particularly, I should think MG Ramesh as one of my architects and moving up. Various
Fantastic.
other.
Fantastic.
And then uh, in this, how I came to know Amit Kothari. It's not your advertisement alone. It's not well saying. One Mr. Vanamali. Whenever your advertisement comes, he used to say, I like this. Immediately he used to put it. Several times I saw, I like it. And your photograph. Then I went into your this thing, and then I knew that you are doing a coaching class in which I can learn a lot of things. I thought I must attend this. I went into your classes, and then your YouTubes also. I thought this is something fantastic, which is not so far I have heard about it. So I thought I should becoming a how to. I already had a recording of videos of children planning, retirement planning, all that I have recorded about 10 listening and put it in YouTube. But then I thought the way in which it be put is not put. Then I thought I will learn from you. That is how I landed on it. I thought
Fantastic. In fact, to the entire audience, we run a training institute known as Prism Academy, whereby we help insurance professionals to move from offline to online, create your own brand image, and invite prospects to you rather than you pushing them for sales. And when Mr. Ramnath came, he himself had several videos already launched. So at this particular stage, I would like to actually salute you because people feel that whether I should do it or no, in fact, you are 10 steps ahead that you were already creating videos. Your online presence is already there. You have a website, you are already focusing, and that's which is highly commendable at your stage, sir.
Let me tell you one more thing. I had also put advertisements in Facebook, but not to the extent you expected people to do. That is why I joined you. I thought I am not doing it the right fashion. Somewhere I'm missing this. So I thought, let me learn from people like you. That is another factor in which I just joined it. I knew that you are teaching in a different way other than even Gare. Santosh Gare. I even attended him, but then nothing equals your way of telling things and addressing people every day. Every day, night, my wife used to mock at me. What is this? Every day you are. Yes, that is my passion. Every day, 9 to 10 o'clock, 10:30, I used to attend.
See, the reason why we created this entire stuff was I used to see that a lot of learning can be, broken down into one particular hour and half. Because you are doing it on regular basis, consistently going through it, it becomes a habit. And once you are imbibed into that habit, it becomes naturally. When you're doing naturally, you don't need to put your efforts into it. That's why we created this entire process and which helps the person to take small steps on everyday basis for the next level. Yes, sir.
And then, see, when my father was a insurance agent, I used to market him. You are picking pebbles and trying to build mountains. How is it? I used to market him. My wife told, don't market it like this. You can pick pebbles and make definitely mountains. That is requires a continuous effort. If you do that, you will achieve it. I will decide you become an agent. That is how she motivated me to become an agent.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. That's a great learning. In fact, sir, it has been a great interview with you and so much deep. Now, just one last question. What drives you at this particular stage for keeping yourself continuously active and, you know, thinking about the next mountain?
Okay. Now, I'll tell you, I am attending one 5 a.m. class every Thursday. Get up at 4:30, keep an alarm, get up at 4:30, attend 5 a.m. class. MG Ramesh.
Mm,
He conducts a 5 a.m. class.
mm,
Why I should attend that 5 a.m. class? I can attend his classes and keep quiet. But then he said, you attend a 5 a.m. class. Get up at 4:30. By the time I had the stroke, it changed my life. I used to get up at 4:30. Previously, I used to sleep till 10 o'clock, wake up till 1 o'clock. Then I changed my habit. Sharp 10, 10:30, 11, I used to go to bed. 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'll be awake. And hence, he motivated me to join a 5 a.m. club. I am a member in that 5 a.m. club. I'm happy about that. That is one thing which motivated me to become there. Why I'm saying that is quite a lot of personal motivation he does, and various other things also he does. One thing is that I will never become old is one in my imbibed in my thought. Second thing is in this next 5 years at least I should earn 10 crores. That is my aim. That is why I don't get discouraged. I don't get demotivated by small failures here and there, but I will march on. I will
Lovely.
earn the
But
10 crores.
again, to interrupt here, at certain age of life, money is not the only motivating factor, right? Money is not the only motivating factor. Of course, it does motivate, but beyond money, what is it that is driving you?
Okay, now let me tell you money. First, let me tell you money and then later answer you the answer. During the course of everyday industries, my father asked me to take Jivan Dara. Quite a big this thing. He asked me to take a big premium and all that I was paying, and it used to be 12%. All of a sudden, they withdrew the 80cc. I thought I had taken, my friends have taken from my father. Suddenly, I surrendered it. When I retired, you'll be surprised. My retirement kitty is 2,000 per month. I knew I had floundered. I will not say it for retirement. I'm an example of how a man can fail. Luckily, the Chari's words, you will become a top man after 65. I'm earning more than 8 lakh. Every year I'm earning 26 lakhs. Last year, 26 lakh. When I became the 10th MDRT, I was earning 26 lakh. My father's earning as well as my earning about 12 lakh or 20 lakhs. 26 lakhs I'm earning. All that because I did not save money for retirement. It, if I had not earned it, all my surroundings, all my friends, relatives would have looked down upon me. Oh, I will not be able, I used to dream that I should buy a car every 5 years. I've been changing it.
Lovely.
I've been changing cars every 5 years. I used to dream. You can see there is a vision board. Beyond that, there is a vision board. I have kept a vision board. Anything you write down and look at it will always help you, motivate you to go to that goal. All my goals, what 5, 6 goals I got in that vision board, I have put it. I will earn this, I will do this, I'll earn 10 crores within these 5 years and all that. I put it down and I'm working towards that. It is not the money. It is not the money. Money, I knew I have suffered because I did not save in the proper fashion. When my father guided me like a youngster, I took it lightly and I did not save it. I thought I'm working in an American embassy and they failed me. They failed me. Then I knew that this is a lesson for me. Whenever I meet people for retirement, I used to tell my story. This is how I failed. Luckily, today I'm earning because of LIC. Don't think that everyone can have that same luck. Please save. People who are 25, 30, they used to say, sir, why should I listen? I said, don't do. Then be like me, 2,000 rupees at the end of it. If I had not joined LIC, I would have been a pauper. Nobody would have respected me. No money, no respect. 100% true. I go in my car, I would not be even think of the petrol in that car, putting petrol in that car. I would have been really in a shambles. Luckily, the Chari's words, I became well off. But for that, if I had done some good retirement solutions, then I would have been comfortable even without working with this. That is one which made me work for money. Second thing is, most important thing is, it's not only for money. Also, if you don't think of earning money and run towards that, you will only look at TV shows, serials, and then spend your time. My wife used to say, your mother and you will look at the serials after retirement and spend your time. I thought, if I do that, I'll become waste. So I will not do that. I will keep on earning. I will come running for earning. That is my goal. I will not, I don't even see the serials. Sometimes I just go and see that. But when your class is there 9 to 10, I don't see any serial. Important serial is there at 9 10, I don't see that. That is one thing I have learned. That you have your own time to spend. That manner in which you see serials and all that, that is, what do you call that? Fun time. I found out what is the wasteful fun time. Then I reduced that. They are wasteful fun time. Learning it, new thing. And one important thing is, I always write journals. I write diaries for work, for my staff. That is true. Also, for the past 30, 35 years, I've been journaling all my life. Good, bad about me, I will write it. If somebody reads about me, they will know this. They will know me, my secrets. But I don't keep it. But I always write a journal. I keep a journal like this. This is my journal. This is my journal. And with a photograph like this, my friend's photograph, who was instrumental in getting me into Lugi, life under the skill window. He was instrumental in getting into Lugi, Mr. K. Ravi. I used to be with him for shows and stalls and all that. He used to be with me. The background also, it has his photograph. This is my journal. Every day I used to write what happened in my life. Good, bad, I will write. I will not hide anything from my heart. That is hiding yourself from your heart is something, denying your good self.
Absolutely. So this is one of the greatest technique, whereby this is a CPU. Okay, the brain is a CPU, and more number of files which are open will definitely reduce down the speed of the CPU. If you journal it down, what happens is your memory gets, deleted at the same point of time, and you are assembling the information in the right manner into the place where it ought to be. It doesn't keep you always hanged, but rather it keeps you fresh always. That's the reason why journaling is very, very important.
I've been doing
Fantastic,
it.
sir.
I have
It
been
has
doing it for so many years.
Lovely, lovely. It has been a great interview along with you. In fact, it is one of the longest interview which I have been, recording. And I shall definitely tell you the kind of key takeaways that you have shared along in this journey will help so many participants and all those who are viewing this entire interview. Please write down in the comment box what are the key takeaways that you're going to implement. See, why we are doing this is to help you to implement this the learnings of successful people that is helping us to become successful. So please do write down your comment. You can connect Mr. Ramnath on his channels as well. Yes, sir, you are saying something.
Last but not the least, I am with a coat and a tie. Do you know why? It's not just for the interview. This is how I go to every client and meet. One HNI jokingly asked, "Why do you want a tie and a coat and things like that and come and meet me?" I said, "It is not for you. It is not for me. It is for the sum assured you are giving me a crore. I should value that. This is the dress I presented to that. I'm faithful to your contribution. I should value that. That is the value of this. That is why I dress up like always. I always will imagine myself to be the receiver of your donating that 1 crore or 2 crores to me. I salute you. That is why I come in this. He was surprised. He was that hotelier who gave me that 1 crore policy. He asked me this question. So, Ramanathan, why do you come in this tie and coat and all that? Is it necessary to meet me? I said, it is not for you, sir. I can even come in a slack, come in a ordinary shirt, but that is not the respect I give for the money you are going to part with me. That is the respect
Certainly,
I give
yes,
you.
absolutely. It's the kind of first impression is always the last impression, and the respect that we own for ourselves and the business that brings us more business. Fantastic, sir. And yes, as I told you, whatever that you learn and you feel that you're going to implement it, do comment down in the comment box. Please follow Ramnath sir on his channels. And it was really lovely, sir. In fact, when we plan to do some offline event, I would request you to please join us during that point of time so that a lot of people can get of the personal interaction with you at the same time. Thank you so much once again to everyone, and it's lovely. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.